on this point further. Thank you very much.
I also want to thank you, Prime Minister Ishiba, for hosting us here at the 30th EU-Japan Summit. And indeed, like my friend Antonio Costa, I saw yesterday the Osaka World Expo. Very impressive, outstanding. It showed us something Japan does uniquely well, and that is blending tradition with innovation. And that's what the expo is all about. It was truly a memorable visit. Dear Shigeru, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations. Congratulations on your successful negotiations on a tariff deal with the United States. This summit between the European Union and Japan comes at the right time. The world is changing rapidly. For strategic partners like us, it means being even more closer to face the realities of our times. And indeed, we are facing rising pressure on two main fronts. The first is geoeconomics, with growing trade tensions and uncertainty, fragile supply chains, the challenge of overcapacity and unleveled playing fields. And on the other hand, geopolitics, with rising threats to our shared stability and interests, from the battlefields in Ukraine to the waters of the Indo-Pacific. Today was about providing common answers and acting together. So let me start indeed with competitiveness. We know competitiveness begins at home. Europe is doing its part. We are investing heavily in innovation. We are improving the business climate and cutting red tape. But in today's world, competitiveness has to be built with trusted partners, such trusted partners as Japan. Together, Europe and Japan represent a fifth of global GDP and a market of 600 million people. So we have the scale to shape global rules on trade and technology in line with our values of fairness and openness. And that's indeed why we are launching our Competitiveness Alliance today. It rests on three pillars. The first pillar is increased bilateral trade between Europe and Japan. We build here on the strong foundation of our economic partnership agreement. It has risen in the last 6 years. The trade between our economies has increased by over 20%, but this was just the beginning. Now we must fully implement the agreement in all areas, such as government procurement, sanitary and phytosanitary standards, and others, so that we can unlock the full potential. We have also agreed to simplify rules where possible, to make life easier for our businesses, and to further promote mutual investment opportunities. The second pillar of our Competitiveness Alliance is strengthening economic security. Japan is a front runner here, and the G7 summit in Hiroshima set a clear direction. We're upgrading our high-level economic dialogue to steer cooperation on robust supply chains, especially for raw materials and batteries. This includes also intensifying the circular economy, securing frameworks for joint research, and the stronger protection of critical infrastructure, both physical and cyber. We will also work more closely together to counter economic coercion and to address unfair trade practices. The third pillar is our joint work on innovation and the green and digital transitions. We're continuing negotiations for Japan to join Horizon Europe, the world's largest research and innovation program, and I hope we can conclude them this year. Under the Green Alliance, we are launching new cooperation on the circular economy, on emission trading systems and clean technologies. And on digital, we are, among others, establishing a working group on submarine cable connectivity, including in the Arctic. So this is a concrete move forward to more secure and trusted data flows between our economies. And finally, as you mentioned, Prime Minister, we believe in global competitiveness and it should benefit everyone. That's why Europe is stepping up cooperation with CPTPP countries, not only to defend open trade, but to shape it. Together, the European Union and CPTPP countries can lead a meaningful reform of the WTO so that global trade rules reflect today's challenges and the risks of tomorrow. Finally, on security and defense, here too the work starts at home. Europe is building up its capabilities with an 800 billion euro defense industrial plan. And we also know that security today depends on partnerships. Therefore, it is so meaningful that Japan was the first country outside Europe to conclude our security and defense partnership. We want to put that partnership fully into action. Next year, we will launch the first EU-Japan Defense Industrial Dialogue, because together we can reduce dependencies and build stronger defense ecosystems, because it is grounded on mutual trust. Prime Minister, this summit reaffirmed the strength of our unique bond. In a world that is growing more fragmented, this bond gives us both clarity and direction, the direction to shape a world that reflects our shared values, open economies, secure societies, and fair rules. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。以上をもちまして共同